Could be.
All right. Hello everyone, it's me, your boy Wolf from Wolfskona Gaming, and we're back with the daily news update. First of all, we have in the news, Ghislaine Maxwell sentenced to 20 years in prison. And specifically on this topic here, what I really want to know is and I'm pretty sure everyone is on board with this one, I want to know who was in that list, right? I want to know who was because if she's getting 20 years in prison, right, for procuring underage sex work, right? Who is the client list, right? Update. Judge Nathan has sentenced Ghislaine Maxwell to 20 years in prison. A sentence of 240 months is sufficient and no graver than necessary. The sentence is less than 30 to 50 years prosecutors asked for, but more than 6 years sentence the defense thought was appropriate. While preparing to deliver the sentence, Nathan said that Miss Maxwell directly and repeatedly and over the course of many years participated in a horrific scheme to traffic and abuse girls, and that Miss Maxwell worked with Epstein to select young victims who were vulnerable. As such, a substantial sentence is warranted, which, if not released early, means Maxwell will be 80 years old when she gets out. And somehow not a single Epstein client was named. So what you can really take away from this, I think the really important takeaway is that this sentence means that she did it, that there were underage girls that were procured. How long they were up to this? I don't personally know, but the point is that is pretty damning that, you have you look at this picture, look how young she is. She obviously was up to it for quite a long time, profited from the abuse of preying on young females. Judge Allison J. Nathan said on Tuesday that Ghislaine Maxwell's criminal activity was extensive, and that she's enhancing her sentence due to the fact that she was at least 10 years older than her victims and exercised undue influence on them. That said, Nathan said that the calculation for sentencing will hinge on whether evidence showed criminal conduct, and that there isn't evidence to support the higher recommendation guidelines of 30 to 50 years. This means Maxwell will likely receive the more lenient guidelines calculation, which would result in less than 20 years in prison. Jeffrey Epstein's madame and partner in crime, Ghislaine Maxwell, is set to be sentenced today after being found guilty of participating in a decade-long scheme to lure and groom underage girls for sexual exploitation by Epstein and his associates. All right, there we go. His associates. Who were his associates? I haven't heard anything in the news cycle at all that says who the associates were. I want to know who's involved in this, because in my opinion, anyone that got on that plane, that Lolita Express, is guilty of participating in that. If she's been determined to have conducted these operations, then 100% it should be noted that then those people that willfully went there knew what was going on and were also involved. I wonder if there is a list of people who flew on the Lolita Express. Let's see if this is a thing. Who flew on Jeffrey Epstein's Lolita Express plane? I want to know. Oh, here's some right here. Donald J. Trump, Bill Clinton, Kevin Spacey, Chris Tucker, Bill Gates, Prince Andrew, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., violinist Itzhak Perlman, U.S. Senator John Glenn, former Senator Majority Leader George Mitchell. It's not a good look. Bill Gates, in fact, his wife left him when that news came out. So she must have thought that it was a pretty big deal. We know for a fact Prince Andrew was definitely on that list. Kevin Spacey is not a surprise. I haven't heard anything out of Chris Tucker in a long time. So, Robert Kennedy Jr., Senator John Glenn, George Mitchell. I mean, some of these names are pretty damning, right? Pretty damning. I definitely want to know more about this. I mean, this is Prince Andrew right here with an underage girl, and he's got his arm around her. I mean, that's pretty obvious. Several victims who weren't part of Maxwell's trial will be allowed to speak during Tuesday's sentencing in Manhattan courtroom in front of U.S. Circuit Judge Allison Nathan. Maxwell will also be afforded the opportunity to speak should she so choose. One of the victims expected to appear is Virginia Goffrey, who accused Prince Andrew of sexually abusing her. Joffrey and Andrew reached a settlement in a civil suit earlier this year after she claimed Epstein lent her out of sexual abuse, a claim Andrew has denied. She made the choice to conspire with Epstein for years, working as a partner in crime and causing devastating harm to vulnerable victims. Some of the stories that, I'm not going to, start like a rumor mill here, but some of the stories coming out of the stuff that went on in there were very, very, very spooky, right? Because you have that, what's it called, like a temple or some shit on the island, and it's it's weird. All right. Joe Biden covered Hunter's Russia-linked hooker tab. Leaked audio proves Joe spoke of dealings. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, this is just this is just gold right here. President Joe Biden inadvertently paid son Hunter's tab to a Russia-linked escort ring. Oh, and it's a Russia-linked escort ring. That is just crazy. Oh man, that laptop. Look at this picture. Look at this. Oh my god. Looks like there's a bunch of cocaine or something all over the desk. Ugh, that is just too much. After Hunter spent more than $30,000 on prostitutes between November 2018 and March 2019, including several who used the .ru email address linked to Russia and an exclusive model agency, Uber GFE, Joe wired $5,000 while Hunter was actively engaged with an escort. His father wired him $5,000. How does that conversation go? Hey, Dad, I need $5,000. For what, son? Russian hookers. I don't even know. Hunter Biden disclosed in text message with a woman named Eva, the go-between who served as his primary point of contact for Uber GFE, that his accounts were temporarily frozen at one point because of his attempted payments to her girls with Russian email accounts were too much of a red flag for his bank. When your bank cuts you off because they're like, what are you doing? You know you have a problem. Eva refers to him as Robert in the messages, which is his birth name. Oh, shit. Hunter also convinced Joe to spend $20,000 claiming it was to pay for a drug rehab in New York, but that never actually happened. The Examiner notes that there's no suggestion that Joe knew what Hunter was spending the money on. What's wrong with you, Hunter asked the Examiner just after the above story was published. Oh, God, this is too much. According to a 2020 GOP Senate report, Hunter Biden paid non-resident women who were nationals of Russia or other Eastern European countries, and that certain transactions were linked to what appears to be an Eastern European prostitution or human trafficking ring. This is just getting worse. Oh, I knew that this stuff was bad when I first heard about it, but this is just hilarious. The report says that Hunter sent thousands of dollars to individuals who are either involved in transactions consistent with possible human trafficking or potential association with prostitution. Some of Hunter's hookers subsequently wired funds they have received from Hunter Biden to individuals located in Russia and Ukraine.
Hello.
He was in Ukraine for quite a while. Hey, what's up, Leo? In one instance, a prostitute named Eva told Hunter that he owed a total of $9,500 for 16 hours of work, telling him to wire the funds directly to a bank account linked to a woman with a Russian email address. Less than 90 minutes later, Joseph R. Biden Jr. sent him $5,000 through Cash App, which Joe Biden's former assistant texted Hunter to say that the amount was the maximum amount because the weekly limit was $7,500. Oh my gosh, have you heard of this before, Leo? Are you familiar with this? This is some really hilarious stuff. Many of the previously unreported records cited in this story, including Hunter Biden's communications with his father, were located in a password-protected iPhone XS backup found on a copy of his abandoned laptop. The iPhone was saved to Hunter Biden's computer on February 6, 2019. Konstantinos Gus Dimitrielos, a cyber forensic expert commissioned by the Washington Examiner, located the password of the iPhone backup during his examination of the hard drive. In one instance, Joe Biden wired his son $5,000 less than 3 hours before he filmed a dispute with an escort over a $10,000 payment at a cottage in Boston, Massachusetts. According to Hunter's search history, he was looking for DC Russian escorts. What's up?
Where did that matter?
I'm sorry, why does that matter?
Because I missed what you said prior.
Oh, okay. Well, we're just going to keep going because I'm going to be just uploading this here in a little bit. Hunter is currently under federal investigation for possible tax fraud linked to his overseas business dealings.
Tax fraud, yada yada. I was wondering about
the conversation was whether or not his father knew about what he was doing with the drugs and the hookers, the Russian hookers, and all that kind of stuff. And it turns out, yes, he did, and he was hitting his dad up, and his dad was sending him $7,500 a week for his fun time. It's pretty crazy, the stuff that's on that laptop. And then there's a voicemail here. Biden tells son Hunter he is clear on New York Times article and voicemail. Oh, we got to listen to this.
Hey, pal, it's Dad. It's 8:15 on Wednesday night. If you get a chance, give me a call. Nothing urgent. Just want to talk to you. I thought the article, at least the thing online, it's going to be printed tomorrow in the Times, was good. I think it's clear. And anyway, if you get a chance, give me a call. I love you.
Did you hear that? Oh, God. That one is... naked Hunter Biden tells prostitute he had a laptop stolen. I don't think I can show that. That's even though it's blurred out, it's still a little bit risque. I mean, all of this content is extraordinarily risque. There's naked prostitutes and drugs all over the place. So, pretty crazy. So yeah, that is very damning. I mean, you know, he denied it and denied it and denied it and yelled it at reporters about it, but it's very obvious that he was playing cover up for his son and paying for his son to behave like this. So if his son was doing this, you can only imagine what his father was up to. Most votes in history. All right, Dr. Zelenko launches the Zelenko Freedom Foundation to fight against medical tyranny. 93% of working Americans have a side hustle. 51% are considering it due to inflation. Yeah, inflation right now is very, very crazy. All right, what is this? More than 900 cases of hepatitis of unknown origin reported in children. What? Okay, this is messed up. In children? Health officials across 33 countries have received reports of 920 probable cases of severe acute hepatitis of unknown origin in young children, according to the World Health Organization. In a press release on Friday, the health agency said that the latest update on the outbreak is an increase of 270 cases since it published data last month that revealed 650 cases. The majority of the cases are in Europe, totaling 460, with 267 from the United Kingdom alone. About 1/3 of the probable cases are reported in the United States. The outbreak was first reported in Britain in April and has since hit dozens of other countries. Of the 422 cases in which gender and age-related information are available, close to half occurred in males, with most of them under 6 years of age. But why? Why do they have this, is what I want to know. The WHO said that the WHO said that 45 children with acute hepatitis have required liver transplants. Good God. Here it is. The etiology of the severe acute hepatitis remains unknown and is being investigated. I mean, probable causes. Health officials in the United States said infection with adenovirus, a common childhood virus called F41, could be the leading hypothesis for most probable cases. Adenovirus, a viral infection that usually causes the common cold, has detected in 75% of confirmed cases tested in the UK. The leading hypothesis remains those which involve adenovirus. However, we continue to investigate the potential role of SARS-CoV-2 and work on ruling out any toxicology component. So are they saying that they were given a flu shot or something which had that was contaminated with hepatitis? I mean, that's what it sounds like. Why would these kids have hepatitis? That is concerning. That is very concerning. Naval mine found at Russia's CPC's Black Sea terminal. Following the discovery of the mine, Novorossiysk has declared a state of emergency in some areas of the Black Sea. Scotland set to hold second independence referendum as Sturgeon prepares to fight Johnson veto. I am on the side of, I have, like some of my family is actually Scottish and lives in Scotland, and they're very pro-independence, and I think that's totally fair. I think that they, I think Scotland should be an independent country. Here's a spicy one. Ukraine elite unit claims sabotage operations inside of Russia. The Times spoke with intelligence officer and 2 sergeants in the Ukraine Special Forces elite Shaman Battalion, Shaman Battalion, who claimed Kiev had conducted covert operations inside Russia. The officers said they successfully carried out raids involving explosions to sow confusion and dissent among Russians. The interesting thing about this is there were there was claims like a couple weeks ago that there were explosions that happened behind the lines, and I remember when that was being talked about. So, I mean, there's a pretty good possibility that was them, those explosions behind the lines. Russia did confirm at least one of them. EY valued Israeli spyware company NSO at $2.3 billion months before emergency bailout. Well, that doesn't sound good. EY valued Israeli spyware company NSO at $2.3 billion. That is nuts. Oh shit. Yeah, I'd love one. Thank you very much. Bang. Just months before secretive Israeli spyware company NSO Group required an emergency bailout and its equity was declared worthless, Big Four accounting firm EY valued the privacy invading enterprise at $2.3 billion. So this is interesting to me, this right here specifically. Oh, that is good. Oof. The reason why this is on my radar is because this is a thing that companies will do. They will have information that like the people that are running it, and sometimes some of their shareholders or people that are on the board, that knows that the company is about to financially like tank. And they'll cook the books, they'll make themselves look really good, and they'll go get an evaluation, and they'll use that to be able to basically fleece their own company before it tanks. So by October, NSO required an emergency $10 million loan in December, just 4 months after the $2.3 billion valuation had been finalized in EY in August. Creditors informed NSO's majority stockholders that the firm was insolvent. Pegasus allows operators to clandestinely surveil a suspect's mobile phone, access contacts and messages, as well as the built-in camera, microphone, and location history, reported the Epoch Times. So, if you don't know what this company is and the reason why it valued so high and the reason why it's being talked about right now, is this spyware is the stuff that was developed for all kinds of crazy clandestine operations. Your phone doesn't even need to be like on, right? It can be off, but your phone retains a certain amount of power. And a long time ago, you used to have to be sent like a text message that the virus would be in the text message, and that's how it would get on your phone. But this tech allows them to just be able to just know your phone number. If they know your phone number, they can install it even when the phone is off, and it will be installed on there, and it will wait, and for like days, and basically try to judge what times you use it or how you use it, so that it will start running when you're not using your phone. And it is very, very scary. This is a very scary piece of tech. NSO has sold the spyware to dozens of countries, including many authoritarian governments. In addition to the United States and Israel, NSO's long list of clients reportedly included Saudi Arabia, the UAE, Bahrain, Egypt, Mexico, South Africa, and India. So you got to think, like, these governments, who are they using it on, right? I bet you can come to those conclusions on your own. The New York Times found several instances in which case the sale of Pegasus coincided with the recipient government's increased support for Israel. God damn it. As a Jew, I gotta say, it's not a good look, Israel. That is not a good look. Social media study shows growing DeSantis boom among swing voters. Oh man, this is interesting. First of all, DeSantis has garnered a lot of support through his handling of the coronavirus and really just what he's been doing for Florida. Florida is probably the freest state in all of the United States, and I think we really can have him to thank for it. I wouldn't be surprised if DeSantis, I don't know if you're going to see like a Trump DeSantis ticket. I think he's the kind of person that would want to run on his own, and I think he might win it, to be quite honest. That's just my opinion. An analysis of social media posts shared with the Epoch Times shows growing momentum for Florida's Republican Governor Ron DeSantis as the GOP presidential nominee in 2024 among voters who aren't solidly in the Trump camp. A sizable portion of the positive discussion, 32%, speak of him as preferable to Trump, said the summary analysis of this research paid for by the Ready for Ron Committee, a draft committee that is encouraging DeSantis to run for president. To them, he is the rightful heir and suggests the former president step aside and allow the younger man to run the gauntlet, the analysis said, of the majority of surveyed voters. Yeah, I mean, one of the biggest problems with Trump is he is very vitriolic. I think he was quite the wrecking ball to the establishment and terrified them to no end. You can only, just look at, how the media covered him. Still to this day, he is their boogeyman. I've always been under the opinion that he is their boogeyman because he was a Democrat and they did like him, and he was on the inside, very much so, which to me sounds like he knows something that normally people would not know. And I think that's what makes him really scary, is I think he has dirt. I think he has real dirt. And I think that's why they attacked him the way that they did, is to attempt to discredit him. So he's a hot potato right now. So I honestly, like, as much as, a lot of people want him to win, I think DeSantis is the safer, more tempered option. This is a good one. Here we go. Aliens. Debate ensues after mysterious lights appear over San Diego. Residents across San Diego on Monday night reported mysterious lights in the sky. The unidentifiable lights were spotted south of downtown San Diego. A flood of Twitter users posted pictures and videos of weird lights above San Diego. The bizarre footage showed 3 to 6 glowing balls of fire hovering in the sky. Let me go ahead and, can I make this larger? Let me go and make this a little bit larger for us. Yeah, look at that. What is that? So, I'm ex-Air Force, and I've seen a lot of planes at night. And I've seen a lot of planes taking off. I've been in a lot of planes. Orange, first of all, odd. And the configuration like that, not anything I've ever seen. That is nothing I've ever seen. That is definitely interesting. Residents across San Diego, parts of Mexico, and even San Clemente report seeing fireballs over the ocean. What? That is a very large amount of, like, that's some incredible beach line. So here's some video here where you can see these lights in the sky. That is huge. If that's like a plane, oh my God, and look at them turning on. That is fucking wild. What is that? Okay. That looks like when you saw the lights over what was that? The Phoenix lights, where you see them turn on like consecutively one after another. I mean, that's what that looks like to me. That is crazy. Appears to be that my camera decided to turn off on me. So we're just gonna keep going. There are some wild lights floating over downtown San Diego. Does anyone know if it's 4th of July already? All right, let's look at this one. Oh yeah, look at that.
I think it's magic.
And if it were to be flares, I think you would see them, like, because I've seen flares. They like arc and they like slowly fall. They definitely look like flares. Now that looks way too static to me. Yeah, that looks way too static. That is crazy. Another person here says, it's still happening, going on about an hour now, multiple floating lights over the ocean, very still, very bright, orange reddish lights.
Okay, we're back. There's now 5.
There's 5 now?
Oh, yeah,
We are
look at that.
totally, Ryan and I are absolutely freaking out, dude. We do not know what this is over Point Loma. This is a video live. You guys can see this is the airport facing west. They've had 2 grouped. Now there's 5. It's definitely some sort of pattern-ish thing going on. Bright orange lights. Does not look like white lighting. And you'll notice the bottom left one just went out. You can see up in the top right.
That's so crazy. Oh, okay. Update. Flight radar showing military flight in the area post 2 hours. Lights seem to have stopped with its return. Coincidence or cause? That's pretty interesting. Yeah, you can see this red plane here off the coast of San Diego. It looks like it's doing a lot of loops or something. Like it's definitely casing the area. So it could be flares, but usually flares, they have like an arc to them. They definitely arc as they fall down. And they usually are bright enough to light up the their trail. You're usually able to see you don't really see the smoke at night, but the light coming off of it does like reflect against the smoke, so you do actually see like a little bit of a plume, and also they flicker a lot, like they strobe, so see, now this is what we're talking about. Another Redditor snapped one of the clearest pictures of the fireballs from La Jolla, showing what could be military flares. Smoke trails are visible in the top 2 fireballs, though nothing is yet confirmed. That looks like flares. That 100% looks like flares. Yeah, it might have just been a military op, because those smoke trails look like flares. I wonder if they popped. Yeah, like it looks like it looks like there's smoke coming off of these. Parachute flares can be seen up to 40 miles, but usually burn up in about 60 seconds. High probabilities they were not parachute flares. So that is another thing, like how long were they hanging out for? Similar lights in the night sky spooked San Diegans in August 2018, but were later confirmed as military flare during a training mission 30 miles off the San Diego coast. So it's probably, I'm going to say not aliens. But it definitely is very suspicious. Usually the flares that I've seen, they don't look like that. That to me is a little sus. Just a little sus. But again, I'm sure they'll tell us flares in the next couple days. All right, here we go. The best early recession indicator. From everything that I've seen, I think we are going into a recession. It looks like it. As we approach the end of the first half, it's safe to say that how the second progress will likely be determined by whether the U.S. moves into recession or not, and how soon. In regards to this key question, douchebag Dutch bank Jim Reed writes that those readers looking for lead indicators, the bank's economist. Oh God, I don't know what's going on with me right now. The bank's economists have long believed that continuing claims are the best signal for an imminent slide into recession. In a recent piece, they showed how an plus 11.5% rise above the minimum level over the previous year provides the most accurate and timely signal of recession risks since the data becomes available in the 1960s. It works for each recession and normally leads by around 2 months. In this cycle, the current low was 1,306,000 hit on May 20th, 2022. So far, it's up less than 1% to 1,315,000 and would need to hit 1,456,000 for the 2-month recessionary countdown clock to start ticking. However, as one can see from the chart below, this isn't a big pickup in historical terms, so although we're not trending there at the moment, it wouldn't take too much to change the picture. Yeah, I think we're really right on the precipice on that one. Definitely stay tuned. I'm going to go ahead and wrap things up here for the day. That it looks like the top stories right now. I hope you all have a great day, and this is your boy Wolf, and I'm outie.